Indeed, technology alters how people live and act throughout the world. Because of this, people can easily access and transfer information from one location to another. Whole industries are now being turned upside down in the blink of an eye. Everything is instant, from technological advancements, innovation of cellular phones, and modes of communication. Thus, the internet credited major factor and changed the way people live. In the case of the Philippines, 70.7% of the population was using the internet as of 2019. By 2025, it is estimated that there would be 77.1% of the population using the internet as per by stated by statistics. The telecommunication industry in the Philippines is dominated by two main service markets, namely Globe Telecom and PLDT. Globe Telecom is a partnership of Ayala Corporation and Singapore Telecom or Singtel. It is one of the largest mobile operators with over 89.3 million subscribers and is widely recognized for navigating the company's digital modification, commencing the innovation of the BPO contact center industry, and making mobile experiences central to the country's way of life. Whereas PLDT, on the other hand, operates a nationwide cellular network, a wireless broadband service, a satellite phone service, and a mobile commerce service which includes smart communications and eventually acquired Sun Cellular or DMPI. All in all, telecommunications sectors play a crucial role in contributing to the country's economy and thus rendered a massive percentage to GDP. According to CUTS 2012, it represents 7.3% of economic growth in the country.
Globe Telecom, a prominent telecommunication service provider in the Philippines. It had a long, pioneering history in the communication business. It was incorporated in 1935 and was the first international wireless communication institution linking the Philippines to the rest of the world. Years later, in 1994, Globe would become the first company in the country offering mobile subscription-based services.
By 2018, more than half of the Filipino citizens were Globe users. The company is a market leader in both aspects of postpaid and prepaid sectors, and even TM brands. It also proposes domestic and international long-distance communication services. Unfortunately, the company was not always so well positioned. Despite its invention, Globe had found its market began to shrink. Morale within the company was at all-time low, and the workplace had become toxic. Globe was apparently lagging in undertaking its scheme. Plus, it did not seem to have the right qualification to deem effective. The Globe leadership team thus did not stick to the current practices but became highly innovative. They would break the rules because they thought that it was the right thing to do with their customers and employees. Globe received the Gold Stevie Award in 2018 as the World's Employer of the Year in the telecommunications industry. In the same year, Globe also bagged the Best Workplace in Asia Award at the Asia Corporate Excellence and Sustainability Awards.
Today, Globe is a market leader, a far cry from its position in 2010. A mere challenger has overtaken the incumbent, something that has never been seen in the telecommunication industry in the region.
With over 1,000 suppliers, Globe encourages both its domestic and foreign suppliers to adopt sustainable practices as well as locally sourced their materials and services to provide more stimulus to the development of the community, especially during this pandemic time. The suppliers are currently being asked to support Globe's ambition to deliver substantial indirect economic impact to its operating ecosystem. Last year, Globe provided 86.5 billion pesos worth of businesses to local suppliers alone. Globe also sets its sights on partnering only with businesses that share its values of sustainability in the areas of labor, health and safety, business continuity, environment, and governance and ethics. In fact, the company has started to evaluate proposals not only on the basis of best value, but also taking into consideration their environmental and social policies and practices.
As a signatory to the UN Global Compact, Globe aligns its commitment to the 10 UNGC principles with 4 key themes: human rights, labor, environment, and anti-corruption to its supply chain. Globe's Supplier Code of Ethics clearly lays down the company's expectation from its partners concerning doing sustainable practices by establishing standards of quality and business integrity. Globe also conducts vendor self-assessment to gauge the awareness of its vendors on sustainability principle as part of its Sustainable Supply Chain Management Program. As part of the company's endeavors to step up its sustainability practices at the supply chain level, Globe plans to conduct external audits in the future for its critical suppliers. Globe will likewise roll out an engagement program to bring about alignment in the principle of practicing sustainability. Thus, due to its high profitability and growth potential, more supplier power can make the industry more attractive. By decreasing the dependency on one or few suppliers, Globe Telecom can strengthen its position against suppliers. It will increase its price sensitivity. Developing long-term contractual relationships with suppliers from different regions not only lowers their bargaining power, but also allows Globe Telecom to improve its supply chain efficiency. Finally, Globe Telecom can find alternate ways of producing the product if product demand is high enough and the firm has the required competencies and expertise. However, it requires a detailed cost-benefit analysis to determine its feasibility. Product redesign and diversification of the product lines can also help the organization reduce the supplier's power in the market.
As of May 2020, Globe's total mobile subscriber base reached 89.3 million. On the other hand, the company's home broadband subscriber base improved by 58% compared to each one of 2019, with over 2.9 million subscribers. The rapid increase of subscribers can be associated to the pandemic period, knowing that most of the employees now are doing work from home. Even schools have their distance learning, and those who are transforming their businesses to digital means. Because of this setup, the provider have the struggles to provide good services to their customers. The customers ultimately needing the best of their services. When they fail to give, it might cause them to jump into another telco provider without counting the cost just to get their satisfaction on their needs. Expecting to have more subscribers will push us also to be ready at all time to cater their needs while maintaining the good services as a right payback to them. Technically, the customers are really strong enough to dictate the provider when they have high market knowledge and price sensitive increase the customer's bargaining power. As much as the company wants to remain the loyalty and doesn't want to end up losing their valued customers while getting government's restraints.
Globe's main competitor in telecommunication provider throughout the years is the PLDT. The country's two largest telecom companies expect stiff competition next year as new players aggressively expand their networks. Globe Telecom Incorporation eyes competition in the home broadband market as Globe is not the only one ruling out in terms of fiber network, as what Kaye said, the president and CEO of the company. For the previous years, the two telcos were also clashing on wireless, and now they're also eyeing the same on fiber network and home broadband, making the competition more intense. It's a race of who can deploy much better, deploy much quicker, and also provide the right service to the public, as what Kaye said. Kaye considers any competitor as a threat.
Globe programmed $300 million for this year's capital expenditures to roll out fiber to the home network nationwide and increase its fiber rollouts by nearly 52% as of August this year, compared to full year 2019, where they also start their 5G services. Meanwhile, Dito Telecommunity expects to commercially roll out mobile services by March 2021, taking its debut in the country as competition among them continues to grow. Competitive rivalry is rated high because they have a low product differentiation against their competitors who are also well known in this telecommunication industry or field. Globe Telecom should focus on the implicit needs and expectation of its customers to strengthen the differentiation basis. It should raise switching costs by developing long-term customer relationship. The organization should also invest in research and development activities to identify new customer segments. In some cases, collaborating with competitors can be mutually beneficial. The organization can look for this option as well.
For Globe Telecom, the availability of alternative products or services makes the business environment difficult. Higher placement of risk suggests that consumers may use other industries' alternative products or services just to meet their needs. The severity of this threat to Globe Telecom is determined by numerous factors. The replacement of products or services for Globe Telecom are alternatives available on the market at comparatively better prices. And because of this technical and creative growth, the product or service will prevail. As a result, the products manufactured by companies that are already on the market and using the same technology are replaced by goods of other companies, which are comparatively better in terms of price and quality and are manufactured from industries with considerable income. Substitutes of goods or services are being risky for the businesses that are under constant threat. The higher placement risk leads to low profitability as it restricts the profit of the business by imposing a price cap because of the fear of being replaced or substituted by other product or service coming from other competitors. In addition to that, it also affects the industry as a whole growth prospect and gradually decreases the profitability margins. The threat of substitute in a product or service increases when there is a cheaper alternative product or service available from another industry or business, and the replacement product or service provides the same or shall we say even better efficiency and quality as the product offered by Globe Telecom. However, Globe Telecom can handle and reduce the threat of substitute of product or service by specifically highlighting how their product or service provided is better than the available alternatives, by also providing a better experience to its customers, and by enhancing its efficiency and optimize value for money and create a strong base for the differentiation to refrain the target customers from using other products or services. Entering the industry needs considerable access to finance or the expenditure of capital and energy. If the current regulatory structure imposes such challenges on new companies that are interested in entering the market, Globe Telecom will be faced with low danger of new entrants because it will be important for the new entrants to comply with the stringent, time-consuming regulatory criteria that will deter such players from entering into the market. The psychological switching costs also play an important role. If the costs are high for the customers and existing brands have built a loyal customer reputation, then the risk in the entry of new entrants will also become low. Given that they have low threats of new players entering the industry, Globe Telecom can resolve this challenge by focusing on client relationship management and building brand loyalty to their target consumers, as well as the psychological switching costs will be raised to expand access to their target market and to establish a long-term contractual relationship with the distributors. Another thing is that to create a strong base of differentiation, Globe Telecom can also invest in research and development activities, acquire valuable customer data, and implement creative products or services.
Over the years, telecommunications industry has rapidly grown in the Philippines. It was ruled by two big companies before. However, there are new entrants of internet providers. Furthermore, Filipinos have been more indulged in using mobile phones and the internet nowadays to get information and to communicate with others. How can Globe Telecom compete with the new uprising internet providers? What are the strengths and opportunities? The advantages of Globe Telecom against other companies are that they already established a wide geographic presence in different regions in reaching the numbers of their users, and their connection with big companies like Ayala corporations make their opportunities wider. A stable financial position enables them to invest more for their improvement. As stated in Rappler last May 7, 2021, for the first quarter, Globe spent 19 billion pesos in capital expenditures, mostly for investments on its network. As of the end of March, the telco giant has built a total of 280 new towers. In March, Globe said Ookla data showed that it improved the most in terms of mobile download speed by being 22% faster at 16.44 Mbps in the fourth quarter of 2020 from 2019's 13.5 Mbps. This improvement takes advantage of other competitors. An opportunity to earn more since they benefit from the CREATE law. Due to the large impact of the Corporate Recovery and Tax Incentives for Enterprises law that lowered corporate income tax, it is said that Globe's profit for the first quarter of 2021 grew by 11% to 7.3 billion pesos. However, the entrance of new internet providers threatened its numbers of users. It is always seen in social media that their internet has been slower than its competitor. As a result of the Ookla speed test, the top download of Globe was around 27.13 Mbps, which is much lesser than its big competitor PLDT, which was 78.49 Mbps. This indicates is a weakness of Globe Telecom that they need to improve. Last July 27, 2020, in the fifth State of the Nation address, President Rodrigo Duterte threatened to close down telco giants Globe Telecom and Smart Communications unless their services improve by December. This will stand as a threat to Globe Telecom as the new entrance of providers like Dito has been having a piece of positive news for its faster internet connectivity compared to two telco giants. A bad word of the mouth of their users for the social media will also be a threat to their possible customers.
Globe Telecom is the leading mobile operator in the Philippines. We now have about 48 million subscribers and growing, and NEC has been a partner throughout this growth for the past 20 years. One of Globe's objectives is to create a wonderful world for the digital mobile consumer in the Philippines. We do this by enabling equal access to information for majority of the population. NEC shares our vision because they've continued to develop their products to extend capacity higher and higher. This enables us to deliver more and more content through our networks. For instance, they keep developing microwave radios and antennas that have ever-expanding bandwidth. And in the Philippines, it's very, very important that this happens because not every cell site here can be connected by fiber. So using NEC's IP radios, we're able to provide robust broadband communication through many different cities and towns in the Philippines.
Having worked with NEC closely, they have demonstrated innovation, reliability, and good performance. Globe Telecom is part of the CUS consortium, and we have chosen NEC to construct a submarine cable system from Indonesia, Philippines to US. It will benefit Globe's customers because NEC submarine cable systems will provide higher capacity and better latency.
NEC has been helping us to deliver the network transformation that we always dreamed of, to empower the consumer's digital lifestyle in the Philippines.
Orchestrating a brighter world, NEC.